There are no secrets in conference play. They know you, you know them, and there's always a little trickle of bad blood here and there, particularly when both teams are ranked as these two are in this one. Welcome to the home of the Florida Gators, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, better known as the Swamp. As we'll see the number 19 team in the country, the Ole Miss Rebels, taking on the 11th ranked team in the land, the Florida Gators. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. And the Gators will get us started with the opening kickoff. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this. Their own 25. This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known. They'll run behind the big guys on the right. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
Looking downfield, it's Simmons. Makes the grab, it's Wallace. He'll step out of bounds right at the 35-yard line, and maybe they've got something cooking. Great protection there, plenty of time to sit in the pocket and let his receiver work across the formation.
Hey, he did a great job working across the formation, finding a hole, quarterback, good timing, waiting on it. Nice strike.
This crowd unhinged, trying to make sure the Gators don't back down on third down. They'll try to run for it. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and what a big third down stop by this defense.
Man, this is a defense that prides themselves on stopping the run, and that is a huge statement on their opponent's opening drive of the game. Third and short, they don't just get a stop. They get a tackle for loss. That sends a very clear message that they're going to be the more physical side today.
They were playing with fire on that return, and he got loose for a good return of better than 30 yards. motion, see how the D reacts. Looking for room. It's ball. And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle.
This defense has got some monsters up front. Individual athleticism. You see guys winning their one-on-ones. They're getting pushed. They're swimming the offensive lineman and then converging on the running back.
The play action fake. Buys a little extra time. Fakes to grab. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
Looking to pass. It's Lagway. Quarterback moving out of the pocket. With the catch, it's Sturdivant. Oh, he's got some space. Goes out of bounds, but not before he gets it to the edge of the red zone right at the 20. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
They go to the ground. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You know, as a defense, you kind of want to force the give on the RPO. You want them to run the football, and you can tell maybe the quarterback wishes he pulled this. Small gain, but some information you gathered maybe for the next time you get to run an RPO.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Trying play action. Now improvising. Unleashes one. Looking for the goal line. So close to that end zone. He could almost taste it, but it'll be 1st and goal for this offense.
And this quarterback wasn't thinking about taking off and running with that one. He was outside the pocket, but he kept his eyes down the field. He kept reading the coverage. He was surveying to find an open target. Accurate throw, and they get the 1st down.
And that's exactly what you want to do as a defense, man. You want to get penetration and not let that tank get downhill. Because when he gets downhill at that weight and that size, it could be a problem.
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Florida!
What a luxury for an offense to have. The ability to set the tone on the ground, giving that guy the football time after time, make
matchups always elevate the pressure. Heart beats a little faster. It gets a little more intense, particularly if that team across the field is a conference foe. And that's exactly what we have in this showdown coming up. Welcome to the home of the Florida Gators, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, better known as the Swamp. As we'll see the number 19 team in the country, the Ole Miss Rebels, taking on the 11th ranked team in the land, the Florida Gators. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. A special teams miscue right off the bat, and they'll take over in really good field position. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Bunch formation for these receivers. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. And a pickup of aim opens a world of opportunities on 2nd and 2.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on 1st down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
The Gators in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. Dragged down at the 46 after a pickup of 5 and the 1st down.
That's a really good-looking run. I tell you, it's not easy to start at the running back position for the Florida Gators. When you think of where they can recruit in the state of Florida and really nationally, they've got a lot of the best around the country in high school wanting to come play here. So it says a lot if you're RB1 in this offense, but this dude shows you why. Speed and playmaking ability all day long.
And you want to talk about gang tackling, everybody on the defense run to the ball.
Well, they're going RPO. Nice job handing it off, and really good vision there, just getting what he can get, right? Puts his foot in the ground, gets forward, helps this offense find positive points.
Didn't get much on 1st down and 2nd and 9. Might be calling a hot route. Looking to throw it flag way. Using his legs to buy some time. Escapes trouble, but he can't get away again, and down he goes, and the trickeration is not so tricky.
This offense is going to have to come up with a plan to block this guy. He is an absolute monster, and he showed you all his tools on that sack.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. He'll pull it down. Tackled right at the 43-yard line, and this D didn't let him sniff that 1st down marker.
And nowadays, you're not always going to get these quarterbacks on the ground because they're so athletic. But nice job getting the sack, let him out of the pocket there, but now forcing the 4th down, and it's decision time for this offense.
Punt is on its way. You'd think they would have had a good chance to down that one deep, but the bounce carries it into the end zone for the touchback. This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. The give to the back. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Well, the runner paid the price on that one. Nobody blocked the middle linebacker. He came through that hole unencumbered and laid the lumber on that tackle for loss.
Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. Looking to fire. They're setting up the screen. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
One of the things I love about this offense is they're very versatile in their passing attack. They throw to receivers and tight ends, and the screen game is big as well. This guy is a weapon. You're seeing that here early.
The noise is deafening, trying to make sure only the Gators get out of the swamp on 3rd down. Back to pass, it's Simmons. Throws to the wideout. That was almost picked off, and what a disaster that would have been to throw a pick on the opening drive. Instead, it's 4th down. And the Rebels will call on their punt team. They'll boot it into the night sky for the first time. No fair catches here, looking for room. Everybody stays in their lanes well enough, and they stop him at the 31-yard line. Opening snap of this drive comes from the 31-yard line. Wide receiver comes in motion. Wants to throw on 1st down off the play fake. Quarterback now breaking the field. Catch and stride inside the 15. And he'll run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Gator!
One of the things I love about this quarterback, David, is that he keeps his eyes downfield when he gets outside the pocket. He might have had an opportunity to take off running with that, but he knew he had an opportunity for an even bigger play. How about the run after the catch?
And that's great. You love that about the quarterbacks, but it's so frustrating when you got a guy that just breaks the contain of the pocket, breaks down your defense. Now you got to cover longer in the back end, and you can tell he comes free, he sees him, catches it, and walks right into the end zone.
Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Handoff to the lone back. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
And man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. And no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground. That is a ball.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. They'll run play action. Looking left. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the mistiming.
And you've seen this formula work at all levels of football. You pressure the quarterback, his numbers start to drop. He's not as efficient. Nice job by the defense.
Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. Back to throw, it's Simmons. And the heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. The defense coming up big there, and the sack is great, but the secondary deserves some credit too.
No doubt. When you can cover like that in the secondary and drop back in your zone and only rush a few, and you feel comfortable getting home, and they're going to get to the quarterback, that is a great feeling, and that's fun to be a defensive coordinator calling the plays.
They'll start this drive and snap it from the 40. Leaves it with the back. And he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in second and short, not a good job by this defense.
Now the play fake. Still looking on the move. Running to Green. He is brought down the man. What a job to find some running room and move the chains.
Most offensive coordinators want to be really aggressive on second and short. And I love the quarterback here. He drops back the pass thinking being aggressive. Nothing available. Scramble. Give me an easy first down.
Might be changing the route. They'll try to get the edge on the left. Look out, he's got room. Runs through the tackle. Just what this offense is looking for. Sets him up at the 26 for the first down.
This play works for one reason. You toss the ball quickly to the left. Receivers have to block. Once that running back gets on the perimeter, you're going nowhere if those receivers aren't committed to getting on those DBs, locking on them, running their feet. That's not their first priority. I know they're going to catch the ball more than they're going to block. Nice job blocking them toss.
So second down here as we're back at it after the break. Looking downfield, it's Lagway. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
And that's a really good job by this defense. Complete defensive effort. When the back end makes the quarterback hold the football a little longer than he wants to, and then the pass rush gets home, hits him, and forces the incompletion.
Quite a bit of work to do on third down from the 23, and this D would love to force a field goal try. From the gun, wants to pass. Pocket breaking down. Intercepted. Big play, stops the drive. They got him down pretty quickly after the pick, but now they've got it at the 15-yard line.
QB never saw the defender. He's staring his receiver down, telegraphing his throw, and the DB jumped all over that.
This drive will open from the 15. Give to the running back. He's loose. Got the first down and still on his feet. And he's brought down after a nice game.
Man, that was a good run, but it was almost even better. Great job by the offense. Keep the running game going. You get big chunks like this. Not only was that a big chunk, it also looked like it could have gone for more.
Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Picked off. What a play to set him up. And they capitalized not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position.
Great job by the safety. You see safeties back in coverage, reading the quarterback's eyes, understanding where he's throwing the football. Great break, great interception.
Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you've got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game. If you're going to win, and David, they've got to be able to eliminate the mental mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think you get conservative or play it safe. You can trust your guy. I think you put the ball right back in his hands and let him do his thing.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. It's Lagway. zings it complete to the right. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion.
And that's kind of a lot of today's running game, right? Spit the ball out quick, get it to your playmakers in space, get positive yards. It's instead of running the ball a couple yards up the middle, now you just spit it out wide, and a lot of times if you break a few tackles, it could be even bigger.
Out of the shotgun on third down. Here comes the heat. He gets the job done, picking up the first down, then getting down.
And I love the change in decision-making, right? That was a much better job. Last possession, tried to force it in there, threw the interception. This possession, it's not there. Take off and scramble. Great job. You got enough athletic ability to do that. Big third down conversion by this offense.
Grinding and churning close to the goal line, but he'll be stopped inches short.
This is a hard defense to run to the outside against because of their speed. You saw in that last play, their ability to go sideline to sideline, win at the point of attack as they shut down that sweep.
Yeah, and it's also hard when you get in the red because what do? On defense? We bring in all the big bodies, so there's not a lot of space in there to run. I like getting the ball in the perimeter. You toss it out there, you run it back. He gets out there faster. We got a positive game. Still a couple plays here left, too. And with the stuff there, Jesse, on second down, this little third to mid-range, you got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a run-pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bind.
They'd love to make this short field pay off with a touchdown instead of a field goal, but it's third and goal. Fighting his way for every inch, but he still needs a few more. He stopped short of the goal line.
That's got to hurt if you're the offense because you're thinking with this quarterback and his size and his athleticism, that's going to be an easy first down pickup on the option play. But how about the physicality up front by this defense, stuffing him at the line of scrimmage?
No hesitation from this head coach. He will go for it on 4th and goal from the 1. Trying to pound it in. He's not going to get there. Stopped short on 4th down.
Hey, if you're going to go for it on 4th down and you decide to run the football, you've got to be sure up front that you're going to win in the trenches. They didn't get it done that time. They need to be more physical moving forward if they're going to try to do that again in the same type of situation in this game.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Listen to this noise. You can't hear yourself think as this defense has them pinned deep in their own end. And they'll bring him to the ground after a short gain.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
A little wrinkle here as they go to the Wildcat and use the extra blocker. We're at the 2-minute timeout. It's been a good one so far. Opportunity for this offense perhaps to take the lead before halftime. We thought we'd see a little Wildcat formation in this spot, and here it is. On the snap, it's Diggs. Keeping it on the ground, trying to create a little space, and he was stopped in his tracks at the 3. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll make some adjustments. Their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. This crowd, unhinged, trying to make sure the Gators don't back down on third down. They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game. The quarterback's mistake pushes the ball back in the shadow of his own goalpost. These fans trying to boost this defense on a big 3rd and long. And you can give all the credit to the crowd for that one. Offense, no chance, and call for the false start. And this defense is going to have its ears pinned back on 3rd and long from the 1.
you.